Tammy's Timeless Tips. Today we're going to be making DIY laundry liquid detergent. The reason why I'm doing this is because the fairy washing powder that I've been using here in the UK for some years now has got so expensive per load that I've decided that I need to find another way forward. My husband does suffer with sensitive skin, so we need to make sure that it isn't too harsh chemically wise, and and try and keep it as natural as possible. With that in mind, I found a recipe using just 2 items that we're going to try today on fairly heavily soiled washing, and we'll see how we go and see if it's any good. If it is, I'll stick with it and carry on making more and using more. If it isn't, I will be going on to a new recipe to try until I find one that works. So come along with me. So this laundry washing liquid is going to be really easy to make and only using 2 ingredients. So we're going to need unscented liquid Castile soap, 1 cup of, that is 240 millilitres, and we're going to need 1 cup of bicarbonate of soda, that's 250 grams. So all we're going to do is we're going to mix both items together. So I'm going to put in my bicarbonate of soda first of all, just because I'm going to be using the same cup. The last time I bought this off Amazon, that is, I think I paid about £8 for it. I've just reordered another one and it works out about £14.95, I think, for another tub. So what I've done instead is I bought a bag version, so it's going to be the same, but it's going to be in a bag, so I can refill this tub, and it's only going to be £12 something, so I can link that below. But all I'm going to do is I'm going to just level this off best I can and add that to my bowl. That's my 1 cup. And then I'm going to add my 1 cup of Castile soap. Just fill that up to the top. There we go. That is my 1 cup. Oh, nearly. So that's that one. I don't want to waste any, and I'm just going to make sure that all of that is out there. It literally gets everything out the sides. They're just some sort of form of gel, but it just cleans everything off there, so there's no waste whatsoever. And then all I'm going to do, in fact I might as well just use this, hadn't I? So I'm going to just fold this in. Now I could make a lot more, but because I've not tried this recipe yet, I am going to mix this in best I can. I've got all of my week's washing to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try it out and see how good it is. I've got everything from lightly soiled to heavily soiled clothing. So it does recommend that for medium soiled, it says 1 to 2 tablespoons actually directly into the drum, and it says for heavy soiled 3 tablespoons, and it also says you can add an extra tablespoon of bicarbonate of soda when you add it to the drum. The great thing is that the bicarbonate of soda is also a deodorizer, which is really helpful. Obviously the soap speaks for itself, but the bicarbonate of soda deodorizes. So as you can see, that is really well mixed in there. Okay, so that is what I will jar up. It's going to be a sealed container. So it's very runny. It's more runny than I expected, but that's absolutely fine. It does say you can shake it up before you add it if it starts to separate over a period of time, but mine won't get a chance. I'll be using this quite a lot. I'm just going to add here that up to now I have been using Lenore Outdoorable conditioner, and it has been very affordable. This is a 76 washes, which is an ultra concentrated version. So here in the UK, this has been on average on the sale when I stock up about £3, £4 maximum for 76 washes, which is very affordable. It does smell wonderful, but because my husband has been suffering with sensitive skin, I have been looking at alternatives, and the way forward for his clothing and anything that directly touches his skin is to use white vinegar. This one is acidic by 5%. I've just ordered another 2 bottles of this because I'm going to be using it on a regular basis for all of his washing. Okay, so that's the mixture made. So now what we need to do is do the washing. Now I've got some really heavy soiled stuff here. I've got my face flannels, which I use every day, loads of them, absolutely loads of them. I've got all of my tea towels, and I use those again quite heavily. They are old, but I reuse them and reuse them. I've had these many years, and I do, use them quite heavily. And and other soiled items here. So I'm going to put those into the washing machine, along with a few other bits I've already put in there. And we're going to give this a go. Now, again, this is the solution, and it, as you can see, it's got like a pasty effect, but it is quite watery still. But that is obviously how it's supposed to be. So we'll stick with that. We're going to just go along with the recipe that I've been given. So I'm just going to go ahead now and follow the instructions, which is to add 2 or 3 tablespoons of this solution to a heavy soiled load. So I'm just going to do that. And it did say to actually put it straight into the drum. So I'm literally going to pour that in. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so that's my 3 of those. The recipe also stated that I could add an additional tablespoon of bicarbonate of soda with heavily soiled items. That's what I'm going to do. It deodorises and also obviously helps to clean. So I'm going to do that now. So I'm just going to take that off. I'm going to grab a tablespoon out of my drawer. I'm just going to go straight into the bucket, and just going to get a rounded spoon like that and put that in on top. Okay, I've actually got some normal fragrance conditioner that I'm going to actually add, which I've already added in here. And once that's gone, I shall start using the white vinegar. I'm going to go to a mixed load, and I don't want to change anything that I do. So I always go to 40 degrees. I know that there are some washing machines that have a cold wash. I don't have that on my washing machine. The lowest I can go is 30 degrees, but I do like to stick with 40 degrees just for an hour. And it is quite an eco-friendly washing machine, this one. That's why it takes an hour, and it's going to be a 1400 spin. So I'm going to leave it exactly as that. So that's all set to wash. Let's see how it gets on. So I've got my mixture here. We now need to store it. Now the best way to store this solution, they say, is with a completely sealed tub or jar. So I did have a couple of options on how I would use this, but I've got these little Tupperware pots, and they have got really good seals on them. So I'm going to use this today. So all I'm going to do is I've mixed that up gently, and I'm just going to pour that in my tub. And I don't really want to have a huge tub until I know how good this solution is. So just for now, I'm going to pour that nicely into that tub, and as you can see, fits nicely. Obviously, if I do find that this works well, I'll be making it in bulk, and I will store it in a larger container, because I do understand that it can last for a very long time. So that's it, and I can just reach for that. And obviously I've got a small house, so it's nicely stored. Right, so we've got to that point where the load is finished. So let's have a look and see how we got on. As you know, I did a mixture of towels, flannels, dishcloths, things like that. And a few other things like shirts, whatever, my work shirts. So yeah, it actually smells really nice and fresh. And as far as I can tell, my face cloths have come up nice and clean. Not that I wear much makeup, but they've come up nice and clean. And my tea towels seem to look all right as well. But the biggest check really is the dishcloths, and they seem to have come up nice too. And they smell fresh. So yeah, I'm going to continue using this washing liquid, and I'm going to see how I get on. It looks like it may have worked, but I'm going to do the rest of my washing this week. And yes, hopefully it'll work nicely, and I'll let you know in future if I've continued with it. But why don't you give it a go? For the sake of a few pounds, try it. If you're struggling like I was, then do give it a go and let me know how you get on, please, in the comments below. Till next time, take care.